In September 1939, the world teetered on the brink. When Nazi Germany invaded Poland, one declaration of war changed everything, pulling the globe into its deadliest conflict. But what if Britain, the defiant bulwark, chose silence instead? How would history unravel if the British Lion never roared? And let's find the answer to the question, what if? In this divergent timeline, the continent would confront a dramatically altered reality, becoming a continental divide without its traditional Western anchor. France, deprived of the vital British Expeditionary Force support and strategic aerial defense, would face Germany's full unhindered military might in isolation. This would inevitably lead to an even swifter and more devastating collapse, preventing any miracle of Dunkirk and solidifying German control. Freed from any significant Western front or maritime threat, Germany could then meticulously consolidate its power across Western Europe, establishing an unchallenged hegemony stretching seamlessly from the Atlantic to the Rhine. Consequently, the iconic Battle of Britain would never ignite, nor would the Blitz as we know it scar London. The Luftwaffe, spared its historical attrition and tactical refining, would retain its full strength, fundamentally altering its operational doctrine and strategic priorities for future campaigns, rather than being ground down over the English Channel. Without the entanglement of a Western front, Germany's military machine could unleash its full, undiverted might onto the Soviet Union. Operation Barbarossa would proceed with unparalleled force, free from the need to garrison occupied Western territories or contend with British naval and aerial harassment. The sheer scale of this concentrated assault would overwhelm Soviet defenses, eliminating any strategic pressure relief or crucial material aid that a Western Allied front might have provided. Facing an almost unstoppable onslaught, the Soviet Union would be pushed to its absolute breaking point, likely leading to a far deeper German advance, a potential collapse of the Soviet regime, and an irrevocably redrawn political map across Eastern Europe. The Eastern Front, already a brutal conflict, would become an even more devastating and one-sided struggle, dramatically altering the entire course of the war and the geopolitical landscape for decades to come. In this altered timeline, the United States still enters the war following the devastating attack on Pearl Harbor. However, with the United Kingdom remaining neutral, America's immediate and primary focus would be singularly fixed on the Pacific theater against Japan. The absence of the UK as a vital staging ground, primary European ally, or a massive recipient of Lend-Lease aid would fundamentally delay or even entirely alter any potential American intervention in Europe. The ideological struggle against Nazism, lacking an active, embattled British ally, would become a more distant, less immediate concern for the American public and government. This shift would drastically reshape global priorities and alliances, leaving Europe largely to a German-dominated destiny. In this alternative history, the British Empire would enter a rapid twilight. Without the unifying common cause of war, its vast network of colonies and dominions would quickly fragment. Lacking the metropole's rallying cry and military support, these territories would either accelerate their push for independence, seek new geopolitical allegiances in a reshaped world, or face direct pressures from expansionist powers like a triumphant Germany or Japan. Simultaneously, the UK would find itself in profound economic and diplomatic isolation. Its global prestige and influence, once paramount, would be utterly shattered by a policy of neutrality in the face of widespread continental conflict, transforming its traditional splendid isolation into stark abandonment. This profound retreat from global power would trigger a radical shift in British national identity and purpose, forcing the nation to grapple with its lost imperial past and redefine itself as an insular island struggling with a dramatically diminished future. The dawn of a truly different age would emerge without the UK's pivotal wartime role. Our familiar post-war bedrock, institutions like the United Nations, NATO, and the Bretton Woods financial system would simply vanish, giving way to an absence of global governance or entirely new divergent structures. This world would be an unrecognizable tapestry of power blocks. A triumphant, Nazi-dominated Europe would stand supreme, while the Soviet Union would be severely weakened or even shattered. Asia, meanwhile, would contend with an intensified, perhaps unchallenged, Japanese influence. The very idea of post-war peace as we understand it would be alien, replaced by a precarious, ongoing ideological struggle, rather than the Cold War we historically experienced. This silent UK choice would sculpt an alien global order, forever changing humanity's trajectory. UK's World War II neutrality would have created a dominant Germany and an alien global order, utterly transforming the 20th century. In your opinion, what if the UK never entered World War II? Share your thoughts in the comments.